DiyDreaming, and in this video tutorial we are going to make a fall wreath that has a little twist. It's going to have a canvas duck center, and I'm going to show you two ways to make it. I'm going to make this one for outside our front door, and then I'm going to make one to hang in the kitchen as well. So I'll show you all that in just a minute. So this wreath came from Goodwill. That's one of the things I always look for when I'm there is wreaths. You can take them apart and reuse them. I am going to be looking for just a grapevine wreath like this, probably about this size, for my kitchen too. And you can find stuff like that at Walmart, at Hobby Lobby, Joann's, Michael's, you know, pretty much any craft store. So I'm going to set this aside for the moment. And we are going to be using some of these burlap leaves that you can pick up at Dollar Tree. They come in a whole bunch of different shapes and colors. We're going to use this stencil, Fall for Jesus, He Never Leaves. And I pulled out a couple Bible verses that talk about how Jesus never leaves us or forsakes us. And we're going to be using canvas duck fabric, and then I have two different color waves of flowers and doodads. We're going to make this one today, but I'm going to make, maybe on a video, I don't know, I'll make a separate one using all those creams and whites. So sorry, my sister was calling me. I will make another one with all those creamy colors, and there's a white pumpkin, and I'll make that later or possibly as a light, but I'll get you pictures either way. So this is what we're going to be using, and this is all Dollar Tree. And I like to just kind of take them apart. Okay, so like I said, we are going to be using canvas duck, and I have this piece all ready to go. You can get canvas duck at pretty much any craft store. You can get it at any fabric store. You do want to select, for this project especially, the thickest that you can, thickest weave that you can. Okay, and I'm going to just be focused on the words, nothing else from this design, because the wreath is going to cover the whole thing. But you guys, this wreath right here could be beautiful for a lot of different projects. I'm just looking to see which way. So sorry, my sister keeps calling, but I'll call her back. I did this one a few days ago, and if you could see it up close, you would see that it's a combination of colors. I used Magnolia Pumpkin Pie ink, and I used Magnolia Ruby Red ink, and I just did my kind of swirly-do method. We're going to do the same thing, but with different colors. For this one, for the cream colored wreath that I'll be making. So I'm going to take my stencil off the backing. I've used it a few times. You don't need to fuzz a stencil before you use it if you're going to use it on fabric. That is just not necessary. Okay, and I have gone around and around about what I want to use. And I think I'm going to use a teeny bit of brown ink, and then I'm going to use this glittering gold. Okay, so let me just grab a stir stick, and we're going to do the whole entire thing, so stay with me to the very end. I didn't say any of my normal stuff. Say hi, let me know where you're watching from, feel free to sprinkle all that normal good stuff, feel free to ask questions. Try to remember not to go outside of my lines. A little heavy on the gold. just use, no, I'm going to use a small squeegee because otherwise I will forget what I'm doing. And my swirly do technique is just, it's, oops, I've already gone out. Oh well, I'll cover that up with my wreath. It's just kind of mixing up the colors in sort of a swirly motion. And I've got way too much chalk paste on here, but that's okay. I won't put this excess chalk paste back in a pot. So if you do this project, just know, wow, Hiedi really burned through a lot of chalk paste that was not necessary to use so much. Anyway, so I'm just going to pull off the big globs and set this right there. Okay, this is what it looks like. Let's pull it off. Okay, I already see a spot that I didn't sufficiently get covered. And I'm just doing a little, oh my gosh, you guys, this is so pretty. Wow. Much prettier than I even anticipated. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to throw this over here in my little tub of water until I can get out to the kitchen to clean it up. Let me grab a wipe for my hands so I don't mess up my project. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. This one is going to go on a grapevine wreath that I have to find in my kitchen. And look at that mix of colors. It's the brown ink combined with the gold, the glittering gold. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so I'm going to set this over here, and we are going to start our project by attaching the one that I've already made, which I heat set it. Let me tell you about that real quick. Because that's important. Okay, so I stenciled this with ink because it's going to go outside, and this is fabric. I let that fully dry, like overnight, and then I took a piece of parchment paper and laid it over the top, and this is my favorite parchment paper right now. This comes from Dollar Tree. It's so awesome and easy to use, and it makes cleanup a piece of cake. So I always use it over the top of my stenciled project just to protect my iron. I'm going to set my iron to cotton because this is cotton, no steam, and I'm just going to do this motion for 3 or 4 minutes, and then I'll flip it over. I don't need this even on this side, and then I'll do that, okay? And then it is heat set, and technically, if I wanted, I could even wash it. But the thing is, this there's no reason to wash a wreath, and the canvas would fall apart because it doesn't have the edges hemmed or anything. Okay, so we're going to start out by attaching this to our wreath and trimming the back of it, and then we're going to get crazy, which I am not the master floral person. That my sister got that gift. I did not, but I think it's going to be okay. So I was just looking to see where I wanted to set this, and I'm going to like attach 2 parts of it with some glue, and then I will pick it up and flip it over. And we'll attach it better. This is just to make it kind of stay in place when I flip it over. Okie dokie. Okay, so I'm going to go heavy duty on the glue, and I'm using my Sherbander Cool Shot low temperature hot gluing device. And we will trim this up after we get it glued on. So I'm just going to work in small sections. It doesn't have to be super tight, but when I start on the other side, I'll try to pull it. This wreath came from Goodwill, and it was like $3 or $4, and it had a whole bunch of daffodils in it, which was cute. I put it outside when I got it, but it's not really daffodil season anymore, and personally, I like to reuse and repurpose things as much as possible. Anyways, if you're liking this project so far, do this or this and sprinkle and all that normal good stuff. Let me know that you're watching so I know that I'm not just in here in my craft room talking to my cell phone. Gun is not hot. It needs to chill for a second. Let me find some scissors. And while I'm waiting for that to heat back up, let me just kind of chop off some of this excess here. Ooh, I completely missed a whole area. How did I do that? So tell me in the comments if you consider yourself to be good with doing floral arrangements. I like to fiddle around with flowers so long as they're inexpensive, because I don't want to wreck a really good, bouquet of faux flowers. Or so long as they came from someplace like Goodwill. I'm okay fiddling around with it, but I don't really have any strong skills in that department. So we're just gonna give it a try and see what we get. The gluing device is not hot anymore. So I'm gonna just trim this off the back while I'm waiting for it to heat back up again. And I really don't care what the back of it looks like because nobody's going to see that, right? Rennie says she loves doing flower arrangements and only gets them on sales when they're on sale. Your computer or device typed salesman only when you get them on salesman. Don't you love autocorrect? Okay, let's say that's good enough, but I may come back and add a little more glue. Fall for Jesus, he never leaves. Okay, let's talk about that. There are Two places to, there's a lot of places to go, but the two places I'm going to take you are Deuteronomy, which, how often do I quote from Deuteronomy? Hardly ever. But in Deuteronomy chapter 31, this is what God says to Moses and to Israel. Be strong. This is chapter 31, verses 6 through, I don't know, about 8 or 9. He says, do not be afraid or terrified because of them, the people that they were going to have to battle. For the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Then Moses summoned Joshua and said to him in the presence of all Israel, be strong and courageous, for you must go with this people into the land that the Lord swore to your forefathers to give them, and you must divide it among them as their inheritance. The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you nor forsake you. So do not be afraid or be discouraged. And then in the New Testament, in the book of John, Jesus says in chapter 14, and it's in red, so that means it's what Jesus said. So chapter 14, verses 1 to 4. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Trust in God. Trust also in me. In my Father's house there are many rooms. If it were not so, I would have told you. I am going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come back and take you to be with me, that you may also be where I am. You know the way to the place where I'm going. He was talking about going to heaven. And then in same chapter 14, verses 15 to 18, Jesus said, if you love me, you will obey what I command. And I will ask the Father, and he will give you another counselor, the Holy Spirit, to be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him nor knows him. But you know him, for he lives within you and will be in you. I will not leave you as orphans. So those are the two places in Scripture that I just wanted to point out. So, fall for Jesus because he never leaves. Okay, so, let me pop this over to the side. This is very prickly. When I do the other one for my kitchen, I'm going to just do a plain grapevine wreath. Not with these little sticky things, but this is what I had, so this is what I'm using. Okay, and I'm going to do a combination of colors of these Dollar Tree leaves, and then we'll add flowers. So when you get these Dollar Tree leaves, they're going to have this metal on the back of them so that you can bend them, and I'm just going to remove that. I don't really need that for this particular purpose. Okay. What I like to do is sort of layer things up on opposite sides and then go around just a little bit. So, I don't know if you can see this. I hope so. So we're going to start with that. Or something like that. I love this stencil. I also made a garden flag that is outside in the front of our house right now. I'm probably going to come back and glue this all more securely. I know I am. But this is going to get us started. Okay, so let's put this one on. Okay, so this is what I have to start. You could also do a big bow there, but I'm not great at big bows either. You know, so you got to use what you have. Okay, so I have a combination of these kind of sunflowers that look, I'm going to use this one because it's already taken apart. They look sort of like it's orange burlap. These are Dollar Tree. And I do want to put this in here, kind of over to the side a little bit so that it doesn't obscure what the thing says. The other thing is I want to give my flower a little bit of hot glue in between the layers since I snipped off the very back stem because I don't want it to come apart. Okay, I think that's going to be good. Start with that big one right there. And this is one of those crafts where you are almost guaranteed to get glue on your fingers, so you definitely want to be using a low temperature hot gluing device for sure. Okay, I'm going to lift this up in just a second and show you. Give this just a little squeeze of hot glue. All right. So now I want to kind of build around it, and then I want to do a little pop of color up here. All right, I got two colors of these little flowers that are supposed to be mini mums. We'll use some of those, and then I got some bittersweet, which I think the Dollar Tree bittersweet is really pretty sweet. It really is. So let's, and then I also got these. These are supposed to be a mum chrysanthemums. Pull one of those off. Let me get my layers glued together so it doesn't fall apart. That's a little bit common with Dollar Tree flowers, that they kind of want to lose the outside or the inside bits of them. So if you can just put a little bit of glue. And I'm going to chop off that stem. I'm just going to add that right here. And there's, I know there's a way better way to attach this using floral wire, but again, I am a crafter who is a jack of all trades, not an expert at anything. So I'm using hot glue, and I know this will survive a season and it'll be just fine. Whoops. Let's do a couple of these. Oops. Okay, and I'm not going to cut it off of this. I'm just going to sort of tuck that inside underneath, like this flower next to it. Okay, this is your absolute reason why you need to be using low temperature hot glue. All right, so I have one that's red, and I'm going to add this one that is orange as well. I want it to be right here to the side a little bit. And then I'll take this daisy sunflower or whatever it is, and I'll push it down. So if you are a professional, or if you're even, you know, really an avid wreath maker or flower arranger, just know that yes, you can do this project, like using the stuff that people actually use for that. I am just using, I'm making do with what I have and what I know how to do. Okay, let me show you how this looks so far. I don't think it looks too bad. I mean, I could go totally crazy and add a whole bunch of stuff, but oops, but I think I'm not going to. I will remove all the glue strings because they are everywhere. Looking at this and I'm thinking it's a little empty down here. Let's add a little bit of bittersweet. Okay, and I could keep adding to that. Oh, I've got so much glue on here. It's terrible. There's one leaf that wants to stand up down. Okay. Give me a thumb or a heart if you think I'm doing okay. Don't tell me if you think I'm doing terrible. All right, let's add just another teeny little pop of something up in this other corner. Let me think, what do I want? I think I can throw this away. I guess it's going to need to be a chrysanthemum. There, let's see which piece looks the best. And then I'll add a little bit of the other stuff to it. So I'm going to glue. If you've worked with these Dollar Tree flowers, you know that they do have a tendency to kind of fall apart. So you could just glue them together. Tack down a little bit this top layer in the center. What do you guys think so far? It's not horrible, is it? I don't think so. That might be way too big. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Should I just do some more of these little teeny mums? Little teeny mini mums? Or, here's another thought. Does it really even need anything else? I'm feeling like right here is still a little empty. But I'm also feeling like maybe it doesn't need a lot more. So tell me in the comments what you think. You like it just the way it is, Denise says. Oh, thank you. Yeah, sometimes, like this is sort of the same as with accessories. Sometimes you need to just stop and not put those last 5 things on and just keep it simple. A little more on the bottom. I kind of think so too. Let's see what else I could add. Well, I could do some more of these. These are, because I don't really have any other great great flowers. Where are my orange ones? Try adding some more of this, and I'm going to tuck it underneath this leaf so I can glue it in that way. Oops, that little flower just came right off the stem. But let's just poke that in there and glue it down. Okay, let me lift that up. As usual, here's what I like to do. I like to think on it for a bit, look at it, and then come back and finish up. So that's what I think I will do, but in general, I think this is where we're going, and I'll just add a little piece of twine on the back, and I'll clean that up off camera. So the other one, this is going to be the center, and I'm going to just do a plain grapevine wreath, which I need to go out in search of. And this is beautiful. This is chocolate brown ink combined with gold. Look how pretty that is. Really, the video camera doesn't do it any justice. And then I'm going to do a big, this is going to be for my kitchen, a variety of all these cream colored flowers. I have a bunch. I use those a lot. Whoops. Oh no. I'm stuck on my grapevine wreath. Okay, well, thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know if you would like my complete supply list. I'll include everything in it that you would need to do a similar project and give you the ideas of where you might find it. I'm going to also sit down and what am I supposed to add? Why would I not add it? I don't know. Anyways, I will sit down and read all your comments. So let me know if you would like my complete supply list. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Feel free to ask questions. All that good stuff. So I mean, it's not professional. I may take a little bit out and swap some things. Like I might put another mum down here somewhere. But for not being great at floral stuff, didn't turn out too bad. And what makes it different is having the center with the canvas duck and with the fall for Jesus, he never leaves. So, alrighty. Well, you guys have a wonderful and blessed day. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Be looking back here later for pictures and also on DIY Dreaming. And I will see you guys later. Bye.